Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Mediterranean cruise vlog. On this video, come along with us to Greece, France, and Spain. Our first stop in Greece is Athens. At this port, we did do an excursion which took us on a tour bus around town, and one of our stops was to the Acropolis. Once you get to the Acropolis, you will have to go up many stairs and slippery hills. I would definitely suggest that if you have difficulty walking, reconsider going here because there was a couple people that actually fell on the way up. It is very slippery. For me, I thought it was worth it because once you get all the way up, you get insane views of all of Athens. The Acropolis was a fortified part of ancient Greek city, which usually was on a hill and held the Parthenon along with other buildings and dates back to 5th century BC. After an hour and a half at the Acropolis, we decided to walk around town. We had some more free time on an excursion, so we went over to Plaka, which is a neighborhood near the area where we were, where it is filled with a lot of stores, restaurants, and cafes. The next day, we headed to our second stop in Greece, which was Santorini. First, we went to the cruises dining area and had a nice breakfast. Santorini was another one of those ports where we had to park out at sea and take a tender over to the shore. Once you arrived to the shore, you have to actually get all the way up to the mountains over there, and there's a couple ways that you can do it. We decided to book an excursion for Santorini, which would take us to all the popular sightseeing areas. And actually the way we got up was through the cable car, which is normally €6 each way, and it was actually included with the cost of our excursion. The other way to get up is to walk or get a ride on a donkey along the roads up the hill, which you will see in a moment. The The cable car will take you up to Fira, which is one of the smaller areas in Santorini, and from there for our tour we got in a van and it took us over to Ia, which you will see. Ia is the most popular area in Santorini, which you usually see in all the movies and travel videos, and it is just beautiful. It has all the white buildings along the water. After finishing up in Ia, our tour van took us back to Fira, where we decided to have a seafood lunch with a nice, beautiful beach view. And just to let you know, this lunch for two cost us €46. And these are the donkeys that you can ride up from the port that I mentioned earlier, and I'm sure you've seen these on a lot of popular movies that took place here in Greece. After about 7 or 8 hours in Santorini, it was time to go back to our cruise ship before it left. So we took the cable car back down and went back onto our cruise ship, which you see over there in the water. Our third and final stop in Greece is Olympia. The day we arrived at Olympia, it was actually a very rainy day and it rained all day, but regardless, we wanted to get out and explore. I was so glad that I packed us umbrellas, compact umbrellas, and I actually made a whole video on what to pack. So if you would like to see it, I will place it in the cards and linked down below. Olympia was definitely the smallest of the other areas in Greece that we went to. So it was just a small little town area. We did have lunch and walked around, but after about 2 hours, we decided to go back to the cruise ship, and we actually did laundry that day. I also have a video coming up on tips and tricks of cruise travel, so if you would like to watch it, definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that video. The next day after we left Olympia was actually a sea day, which once again means it was a day that we drove all day and did not get off at all. On this sea day, we did attend an art auction, which we found to be really fun, and actually we bid on some art and bought our first piece of art on a cruise ship. On that evening, after the art auction, it was actually going to be a formal dinner night, which means everybody gets all dressed up. And here's some clips of us just taking some pictures, dressed up. A lot of people wear ball gowns, tuxedos, they have photo shoots, so it's just a lot of fun. The next stop on our journey took us to Corsica, France, which is an island off of France. Our cruise arrived early in the morning, and it greeted us with another cold, rainy day. One thing I learned about travel is that you cannot control the weather, so just come prepared with umbrellas and appropriate weather gear and enjoy it as much as possible. The next day, we were to set sail towards Sète, France, but we got unexpected, dangerous weather conditions, so we had to skip that port and had an unexpected sea day. On sea days, there are several things to do on the ship, and one of them is seeing a show, which you saw right there. Next, we're going to be headed to our last port, which was Barcelona, and we started packing the night before. Since we missed our last port of call, which was Sète, France, we actually arrived to Barcelona the night before at 8:30 p.m. instead of early in the morning the next day, so we got a couple hours to get out and explore. In Barcelona, we decided to take a taxi over to the Basilica de la Sagrada Familia, which is a large unfinished Roman Catholic basilica that was started to be built in 1882 and still continues to be under construction. After a couple hours around town in Barcelona, we headed back to the cruise, went to bed, and woke up early in the morning to head over to the airport to come back to California. Overall, it was definitely an experience I will never forget. The cruise took us to so many beautiful places, and I would recommend a Mediterranean cruise for anyone who wants to explore. If you haven't watched part 1 of the Mediterranean cruise, definitely head down to the description where I will link it below. And if you love travel videos, definitely subscribe because I will be having another one soon.